And there they are, they're just sitting in there in the brine. Oh, look at that. That is gold. Can't wait. And love it. Hi all, welcome to Fly Fishing with Krazza. Today I'm going to show the process of smoking trout. I've finished doing it. This is the trout here. It's I wish you could smell it and taste it. It's an amazing recipe that I've come up with. It's restaurant quality. I believe it is. It just tastes amazing. My mates always say that, you know, it should be served up in a restaurant. But look, I'm prepared to share the recipe I use and how I go about it. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you're enjoying my content, you know, subscribe, that'd be great. So yeah, enjoy this video on how to make restaurant quality smoked trout. Cheers. Well, hi all. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to prepare the brine. So we've filleted the fish, and now it's time to put it in like a pan and pour the brine over it. So what I'll show you now is how to prepare the brine. So the brine has basically water, sugar, salt, and it's got one special ingredient that I threw in one day, and it made such a huge difference to the flavour. I'm not going to show you now what it is, but at the end of the video you'll see what the secret ingredient is. I haven't told many people about this, so this will be the first time I'm sharing it on my video. And at the end I'll put a list of all the ingredients and the ratio that all the ingredients are put into the water to make this brine to soak your fish in overnight in the fridge. So here we go. So what I use, I've just got a Pyrex bowl, but you can use any bowl that's got like a scale on it. So I just use that, and I'll use the raw sugar, and I'll put down the amount that I put in the brine. So I'll probably have like a cupful of water in there. I'll put the right amount of raw sugar, the ratio that I used, and then I'll also put in salt. I mean, this is rock salt. It doesn't need to be rock salt. It can just be normal table salt. That works fine. And there's a ratio to that. And this is my secret ingredient as well. It's something that you can buy off the shelf, but I'll disclose what it is at the end of the video. Okay? So that's it. It's just a certain amount of water, a certain amount of sugar, a certain amount of salt, and a certain amount of this secret ingredient. So that's how simple it is, and you just pour it over your fish in your tray that you've prepared and filleted the fish, and then you put it in the fridge, and you'll see me putting it in the fridge in a sec. There's the fridge, and there they are, they're just sitting in there in the brine. That's the stonker that I caught on the opening day, and that was a previous rainbow and a brown trout I caught. So they're both in the brine in the fridge, and I'll leave them overnight. So yeah, that's that. So that's the next process. Well, this is the smoker that I've got. Picked it up on I think Gumtree a while ago. It's got what, 1, 2, 3 shelves, and I have fired it. So I've got the wood chips. Wood chips are in there, and I use apple wood chips, and I find they give the best flavour. And then I've got like a bowl of water here to keep moisture inside the smoker so that the fish doesn't dry out. It is a gas smoker. I did have a wooden one, but I found it was too hard to manage and keep the temperature right. I was like taking those coals out all the time just to manage the temperature. So the gas one's been so much better, and you can just walk away from it once the temperature's set. So I kind of run this at around about 107 degrees. Even at 100, I found that I've get a good result. So yeah, so the next thing to do is to bring the fish. So this is the trout in the brine. It's been in the fridge overnight, soaking up that brine. So now it's just about putting it into the smoker. So just grab pieces and chuck them in. I chuck them in wet. A lot of people like to dry them first. I find that you get more flavour when they're wet. So I don't know, you can argue about it with me, but that's the better result that I've been getting. So yeah, I'll just put them in wet. That's the top shelf. I won't bore you with the rest of it, so I'm just going to load the shelves up. So that's it, fully loaded. So now I just got to wait. That's it. We're like 15 minutes into the smoking, and you can see that it's starting to smoke now. Obviously the chips are starting to get enough heat in them and they're smoking. I mean, those chips were wet, so it would have taken a while for them to start to ignite, and yeah, that's the flavour starting. So yeah, I'll just keep checking. Once it stops smoking, I'll have to reload the chips for another session. I usually only do 2 sessions of chips. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. You're really smoking now. That's like after half an hour. So yeah, it's coming along nice. So these are the wood chips. They're apple wood. I don't know if you can see that. I think I just got them from Bunnings. I do prefer the apple. The apple gives it so much nicer flavour compared to any of the other chips. I mean, that's my opinion. So just put them in this container, and what I'll do is I'll put water in there so that they soak, and then as it heats up, it'll steam and it'll create smoke when they're wet, you know. Or otherwise they'll just catch fire perhaps. So yeah, that's what you want to do. And when they're wet, they just take longer, they smoke for longer. So I'll put some water in that and leave it soak, and then when this stops smoking, I'll just load her up with the next batch. Well, it's been an hour now, or just over an hour. You can see the smoke has stopped, so I'll need to change the chips. So that's what I'm going to do. Put the gloves on. That's hot. Okay, so there's chips topped up. Open her up. Put her in. That out a bit. Put it in. That's that. I don't usually do this, but for the exercise, for the video, look at that, they're looking good. Well, when I opened it before to reload the chips, I did notice that some of the thinner ones looked pretty well done. So rather than drying them right out, which I've had happen to me before, I'm going to remove the skinnier fillets. So yeah, it's just something that you want to be aware of and keep an eye on. Otherwise they come out really dry and, you know, they're not that nice. I mean, some people might like them like that. I know in the shops you can buy them so dry, but for me, you want a bit of or a fair bit of moisture in the meat. So I'm just going to remove these smaller ones. Yeah, they're definitely done. Yeah, like I said, I don't usually open it and remove them, but I just saw that the thinner ones, which was the smaller trout, and oh, love it. So I'll keep it cooking. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just putting the rest of that big trout, that stonker that I caught on opening day, on the bottom shelf. I didn't have enough room before, so they're going in now. That's everything, all done. So slide that back in. That's in. Close that door. Yeah, it's pretty busy, isn't it? Anyway, keep cooking. Well, that's 2 hours for the first lot, so I reckon they're ready to come out. Oh yeah, they look sensational. Look at that. Oh. Keep the others cooking. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is gold. That's the thing about the stonkers, they've got a lot of fat in them and they just smoke so well. The flavour is amazing. So yeah, that's the last of them. I mean, it's been like probably 3 hours of cooking because I had to do 2 loads. Usually a couple of hours does it, but what can I say? It's worth it in the end. So I hope that that smoking video is something that you enjoyed watching, and if you want to try smoking, well, go and try it because the flavour and the result is just amazing. Well, and this is what I do when I package them up. Put them in the foil, chuck them in the foil, fold it up, like that, fold it again, and that's it. I'll put them in the freezer like that, and then when I go fishing, I just grab them, chuck them in my esky, and yeah, that's what I have for lunch. So if you ever see me near my car, come and see me and I'll give you some smoked trout to try. I've gave a few people some of my smoked trout and they've loved it. So it's a great recipe. It's taken me probably about, well, I don't know, 2 or 3 years to perfect it. That's the packaging side of it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. It did take a while to make that video. I didn't realise how complex it is, so it's probably a good idea to watch the whole video because there's quite a few tips in there about what you should and shouldn't do, and things like when you need to take things out in case they're going to get dried out. There were just quite a few tips. I didn't realise how complex it can be to smoke trout, but you know, it's all there. The recipe is there as well, so I hope that helps you out. It's really a nice recipe. It's restaurant quality. I know I keep going on about it, but it really is. So if you have a go at it, let me know how it goes for you. If it's a good result in the end, let me know. Leave something in the comments. So yeah, if you're enjoying the content in my videos, you know, subscribe. It helps my channel. That'll be fantastic. And thanks for watching. And God bless. Bye.